Hi, this is CAD/CAM Lessons, and in this video I'll show you how to prepare a CNC milling program in FreeCAD. I have a simple model here, and on this simple model I'll show you two basic machining operations, because besides the fact that in FreeCAD we can create 3D models based on 3D models created in FreeCAD or imported from other 3D CAD systems, we can prepare machining programs for CNC milling machines. And when it comes to capabilities of the CAM Workbench, meaning the workbench where we prepare machining programs for CNC machines, we have basic machining strategies available here. These are mainly 2.5 axis milling strategies, so we can, for example, cut contours, mill pockets, drill and machine holes. We also have other strategies available, and I'll talk about that in a moment, but first let's go to the CAM Workbench. And as you know, FreeCAD has a modular structure. Here we have a list of available modules, and to start creating a machining program, we switch to the CAM module. And okay, we are already in the CAM module, and for now all the options are grayed out here. And first we need to start a new CAM project. We click this icon and here we get this information. We have to choose units for this project, and we can set that in the settings, but something like this can appear for many users. So here, when preparing machining programs, I choose the metric small parts CNC options so that the fit is set in millimeters per minute. And here I select the option to change the unit system for this project. And I click OK. And here we choose the model on the basis of which we want to prepare this project. I choose body here, so that based on this model I prepare the project, and I click OK. And here we have the initial settings. On a black background it may not be very visible, but in the workspace we have the model on the basis of which we will prepare the machining program, and we have the stock. And as for the stock dimensions, I'll set this here with no allowance. Here in the stock section we set allowances, and we have several types of such stock, and here I simply enter the value 0, and I can change this value with the mouse wheel. Of course we can enter a value from the keyboard, but we can also rotate the mouse wheel and we can change the stock value. Stock is the raw material from which we will machine this part. I set it here with no allowance because in this part I want to mill pockets and I want to cut this part out of a sheet. That's why I define 0 allowances here. And now we need to set the origin point of the coordinate system, and I would like this point to be in this corner. So I click on this corner and select set origin, and now point 0 is exactly in this corner. As for this tab, that's all for this project, and now we move to the output tab. Here I select post processor and I choose GRBL because I will run this on a small CNC milling machine that uses this controller. And as for the initial settings, that's all. I click OK and we can move on to preparing the project. Now, as you can see, these icons are active and we can start creating the machining program. And we will start by selecting a tool. I select the tool table, and here we have the default tool library. However, I need a tool with a diameter of 2. And I click the Open Library Editor button to edit the tool library. And here we can create our own tool library, or we can create another tool in this library. I clicked the button to create a new tool and I choose the End Mill tool here. And now I right click on this tool and choose Edit. I'll name this tool T1. The tool number doesn't matter because the machine doesn't have automatic tool changing. Set the spindle rotation as forward, and the material also doesn't matter much in this case. Cutting edge length, for example 10. And what's more important is diameter. Set it to 2 millimeters, and here set to flutes. The overall tool length can be 50 and the shank diameter also 2. In fact, at this moment, the most important parameter for me is the diameter of this tool. The other parameters are not that important. I click OK, and we have this tool in the library. I close the tool library and I select this tool and select Add to Job. I close the tool library and now we have our CAM project here and we have tools here. By default we have a tool with a diameter of 5 here, and we can remove this tool. I right click and choose Delete, and now I select this tool in the features tree, and here we define the machining parameters that will be assigned to this tool. Horizontal fit is the working feed rate in the XY axis. I will set 200 here. Vertical fit is the feed rate in the Z axis. I'll set 100 millimeters per minute here. And as for the spindle speed, we specify the number of spindle revolutions per minute, and I'll set 4000 spindle revolutions per minute here. And these parameters will be used during machining with this tool. And now I'll add a pocket machining operation, and we will do it based on faces. With the Ctrl or Command key, I select the faces on the basis of which I want to prepare the pocket machining. I select the pocket shape strategy here. We go through the tabs one by one. Here we have the selected geometry. The extension tab is not important at the moment. And here we have the final depth options set to -1, step down set to 2, and this is the maximum step value that can be made in the Z axis. But the final depth is set here to -1, so this value -1 is smaller than the step down value, so this value will not be exceeded. Next, the height tab. And here we have safe height levels values. It's important that these levels are above the material, and it's important that the clearance height level is above the clamps. If the tool is going to pass over clamps, this level must be high enough so that during moves at this level the tool doesn't catch the clamps or fixtures. In this case, this part will be cut out of a sheet, so we don't have any clamps here. The clamps will be at a large distance outside this part. And the most important tab, operation, and here we define the parameters of this machining strategy. Machining direction, we select climb or conventional, we leave climb, and as for the machining pattern, for now we can leave offset. You will see in a moment what it looks like, and step over percent is the overlap of successive passes, and I'll reduce this value to 30% of the tool diameter. And I click apply to see what it will look like, and this is what the toolpath for this operation looks like. I click OK, that works for me, and now I left click to the select all geometry, and I choose profile, meaning a contour machining operation, and here if no geometry is selected, the outside contour of the part will be selected for machining. As you can see, we don't have any selected geometry here, and if I use the default parameters, a toolpath will be generated around the part. I go to the depth tab, final depth, -4, step value in the z-axis 2. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Here too, safe heights, meaning the level at which the tool will move, and we go to the Operation tab, and here we define the parameters of this strategy. Site select outside, direction clockwise, allowance 0. We do this with no allowance, and number of passes 1. Here it's about passes in the XY axis. Here if I increase this to 2, I can specify the value by which the successive passes will be offset sideways. This is what it will look like. I go back here to 1 pass, okay, and we will leave it like that. I click OK to confirm this machining, and if we leave the machining like this part will not be machined correctly. As for the pocket machining, the pockets will be machined, but later, when this part is cut out of the sheet during machining of the last pass in the Z-axis, this part may be torn out of the sheet. In such cases, it's worth adding tabs here so that this part stays attached to the sheet. And we do it like this. We select the operation to which we want to add these tabs. We right click here, and from dress up we choose tag. And here 4 tabs were generated automatically. Here we have the parameters of these tabs, tab width 6 and tab height 2. Okay, I leave the tab parameters like that. I click OK, and we have the machining. And now we can move on to simulation to see what it will look like and how this part will be machined. Okay, I close the simulation, and now we will export the machining program so that it can be run on the CNC milling machine. And to do that, first we need to specify the file name and location. To do that, we double click the project name with the left mouse button, and we go to the Output tab, and here I click this button to specify the file name and location. I click Save, and here I click OK. And now I select the Operations tab, and I click the Post Process button. And here I click OK. And I have the machining program here that we exported from FreeCAD. It is a text file, and now with this text file I can go to the CNC mill, and on the CNC mill I can run this program. So as you can see, we have these possibilities for creating machining programs for CNC mills in FreeCAD. Don't treat this video as a typical tutorial, because I know I skipped a lot of things here. In this video I just wanted to show you that we can do something like this in FreeCAD. And okay, I have MillMage software here, and besides the fact that we can prepare machining programs here, we can also run machining programs prepared in other CAM systems. And I have a program prepared from FreeCAD here, and now I'll run this program. I click Run G-code here. Of course, earlier I set the 0 point on the machine, and now I select Run G-code and select the program I want to run. I click Open, and machining starts. And I'm recording this after making this part on the CNC milling machine. And as you may have noticed, on the milling machine I wasn't able to finish this machining, and that was mainly because the cutter was clamped too weakly or the parameters were chosen incorrectly, and this cutter was pulled out of the holder a bit, and each subsequent pocket was deeper and deeper, and the last contour machining, the first pass, was already milling below the final depth of this part. So this part would be cut out of the sheet after the first pass, and because the tabs were set so that they were applied only in the second machining pass, this part would simply be torn out of the sheet, and I had to stop the machining. Most likely either I clamped the cutter too weakly in the holder or the parameters I used to machine this material were inappropriate. So you have to watch out for that, and what's more, the way this part was clamped here was quite weak, and there were also fairly large vibrations during machining. I record my videos with a focus on learning software, not on selecting parameters. Therefore, when it comes to machining parameters, it's not worth being guided by my videos, especially since FreeCAD is often used among small companies, workshops, hobbyists who have small semi-professional CNC milling machines, and often in the case of such machines, in the case of such applications, parameters need to be selected very individually, because the machining parameters depends not only on what tool we use and what material we machine, that is most often the starting point for selecting parameters, but the machine we use also has an impact on parameters, spindle power has an impact, as well as the way the part is clamped. I know that my way of clamping the part is very weak. During machining there are very large vibrations, but this clamping method allows me to simply start machining very quickly and show how machining prepared this way looks on the machine. Of course, for production purposes it would need to be adapted, but I emphasize once again, here I only mean to show that we do something in FreeCAD and we can make a real part based on it. So that was the main goal. And we will finish here. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.